Good evening, YouTube. How's everybody doing tonight? It's that time again. Video time. How long's it been? 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Something like that. We're in the depths of winter here at the moment. It's been horribly cold. Down to -7, I think, one night, -8. I had to resort to setting the alarm clock for 3 a.m. And then 5 a.m. I didn't get much sleep for well over a week. Setting the alarm clock, coming down here out into the shed to make sure the heaters were on. Let me just get out of the light a little. Make sure the heaters were on. Make sure everything was doing what it should be doing. So I was in and out of here like a blue ass fly, but we got through it. It did get cold in here. I think even with the heaters on, the helium-4 got down to 9C, which is about as cold as I want them to get, really, to be fair. But it's a bit milder now, so things are looking better. So by popular demand, I've come out and done a video. I'm going to do a video anyway. So big shout out to Dylan. This one's for you, sir. Oliver, Penda, as always, Dom, Breck, Tim, little Tim, and the other Tim, Amori, can't forget Amori, Angie. Who else is there? Oh, put my finger over there. Ash. Think Benny boy. Up north. I can't think. I'm gonna have to write a list down of all these names. Anyway, let's crack on, shall we? There's a fair bit to cover, I think. So let's get on with it, and we'll have a look at what's new. Yeah, there's a fair bit, and there's some not so good things, but let's get on with it. Okay, so talking points. Right. Well, the main talking point is the mites are back. I have, let me just sit down here for a second. I have had an ongoing battle with mites for a while, and I thought I'd got rid of them. Well, I was pretty sure I'd got rid of them, and then they came back, and I got rid of them again, and I've now got them, well, I'm pretty sure I've got them, a third time, because I've noticed Hamata, this Hamata particularly, Hamata being an absolute magnet for every pest that's known to man. This one started developing multiple growth points, which isn't unheard of for Hamata. But when they start producing growth points like this, especially with deformed leaves and kind of weird tendrils going on, and there's all sorts of madness going on there. Yeah, that's mites. There's mites there. I'm pretty sure of that. And not only that one, but we have exhibit B over here. We have Aristo, and Aristo started producing leaves like this, curled up at the edges. The white specks you can see there those aren't mites. You can't you would be very lucky to, well, you'd have to have a major infestation to see mites crawling all over your plants. The white you can see there, if I can hold it still long enough and if it'll focus properly, that is actually bits of debris and the remnants of ivermectin, which is a pesticide. The white bits are the emulsifier. When you spray it, it kind of, that's what makes it stick to the leaves. Yeah, I had my suspicions when I saw the leaves these leaves start to curl, and we've got there a proper Aristo picture, and the next picture out doesn't have such a pronounced hump. So yeah, I was like, they're back. So I was pretty bummed out for a number of reasons. Sorry, let's get you out of the fan. One being, I thought I got rid of them, and the next reason being, the more I started to look, and I think this is true of anybody who keeps Nepenthes, or anybody who keeps plants in general for any length of time, you become a little complacent. It's the old saying, isn't it? Familiarity breeds contempt. And I've become so used to coming in here, walking in here, and not finding anything. Because we all look for thrips, we all look for green fly, we all look for, you know, your normal everyday pests. We all come in, we look for them, we don't see them, you get a bit complacent. Now the Niagara, I've had suspicions there was something going on here for a while, but I could never see anything. And now looking at the Hamata and the Aristo and putting 3 and 5 together, I'm pretty sure that Niagara has probably got mite as well, but albeit it's never been what I'd call a healthy looking plant for me. I mean, well, it grows fine, it puts out great looking pictures, but I never get the shiny leaves. You know what I'm like with me and shiny leaves. If it's shiny, it's healthy. That's, you know, that's my philosophy on Nepenthes. But the Niagara has never ever displayed a shiny leaf. They've always been this kind of dull texture. So, but that may just be Niagara. This is the white I was talking about. It's like an emulsive. It's kind of, it's a carrier in the ivermectin that dries onto. It's almost like wax, and it dries onto the leaves, and it looks horrible. But hopefully it'll wear off. So that's me and the mite issues. These are battles that we have to fight, unfortunately. I will get the better of them. I will get rid of them. They will come back. I was actually talking to somebody the other night regarding this, and he's got a friend who studies pests for, I think, all manner of pests, nematodes and everything else, and it was his opinion, this chap I was talking to, is his friend's opinion, or not opinion, a scientific finding, that mites are one of the hardest pests to eradicate, because they basically become so resistant to anything that's thrown at them, and they are virtually impossible to get rid of. It's more a case of just controlling them than actually getting rid of them altogether. what I'm going to do is, once I've got them pretty much gone, or as well as gone as I can, I am just going to blitz this place with predatory mites, with the natural predators. I am just going to fill the place with them and just let them have at it, and I'm sure I can find some kind of equilibrium that way. So anyway, enough of the doom and gloom. Let's start up this end. The old favourite, Brecht's old favourite, Eustacia tenuis, is putting out the longest tendril I've seen yet. This thing is huge. Let me zoom out a second. There we go. This thing is a whopper. Look at that. I can hear Pender in the background now going, yeah, that's not long. I do know he's got some absolutely whopping tendrils on some of his plants. I'm not jealous in the slightest. I need to repot this, actually. I'm going to give this a repot at some point, and just because it's looking a bit sad. Top shelf's looking okay. Candy Dreams, Veitchii Platy cross Veitchii Candy Dreams. We were having a conversation about Candy Dreams on one of the groups as well, about it's not all that, and I have to agree, to be fair. Give me a Veitchii Jeff Wong any day of the week. I think that is a far superior Veitchii. You're all going to get mad now and blow the comments section up, I know it. Supernova are doing fantastically. They're just putting out some gorgeous fresh pictures. These are really taking off now, really taking off. Tom, yeah, shout out to Tom, who was the breeder of these Supernova, as we called them, named them, for a good reason. These have really surpassed my expectations anyway. I'm pretty sure they've done the same to Tom. These are going to be something amazing. If you can see yellow dust as well over here. There is another thing that mites don't like, and well, any creepy crawlies don't like. Thrips, mites, you name it, they all hate sulphur. And a wee dusting of sulphur, A, isn't bad for your plants, and B, puts off any biting insects that might be on the plants. Now, I'm not saying go out, buy sulphur and go mad and dust everything you've got. That's up to you if you do. I use it, and to be fair, I've been using it for a few years now. If you choose to use it, that's up to you. But if you go mad and you do some damage, that ain't on me. So yeah, that's what the yellow dust is. You can see the yellow dust. Now, Dylan, bless him, Dylan from down under, down in Oz, was talking about the specifics of the shed, and what's the I've lost the word. Dylan, pregabalin. So I'll say one word, pregabalin. He knows what if you know, you know, and he'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The workings of the shed, shall we say? I had to think about that then. The workings of the shed. All right, okay. Let's start from the very beginning. A very good place to start. This shed initially was, this used to be my reptile shed. It's a 12 by 10. It's fully insulated, although it doesn't look like it at times when you look at it. But it is actually insulated and plasterboarded underneath this lot. And when I moved in here, I decided, I sold the reptiles some time back, back in 2015. Well, it was half reptiles, chameleons, snakes, etc., and half insects. You name it, I'd got it in here. There was a mixture of everything. And then work got a bit too much. I ain't got time to look after everything properly, so I just sold it all off. And the shed sat empty for a long time. I used to keep all my model aircraft in here. And then I decided to move my plant collection into here. And I couldn't find a 12-foot by 10-foot shed, tent rather. What I could find were two 6-foot tents, 6 foot by 10. And I managed, I happened to get them off the same bloke, 2 6-foot by 10-foot tents, which were perfect. And so I tidied the inside of the shed, got it looking a bit, give it a lick of paint underneath this, so there's no reason why. The roof was leaking a little bit, so I fixed that. And then I basically stuck one of the tents that end, stapled it all in, so I came to halfway and cut out the door section out of this end, and got the other tent and cut out the back section of that tent, and then joined the two together, so the door end was here. So basically this is 2 tents joined end to end, and I then put an extra layer of mylar over the joints, and on the roof I put an extra layer of mylar on the roof. So that is basically the shed. That's what lines the shed. I'd already got power in here. I've got 4 outlets down there, and I've got another 4 outlets down there, so I've got 8 outlets in total. And then through copious use of these multi-plug shenanigans going on, and another one over there, we've got plugs everywhere. They all go through the main breaker box, which is up there, and then there is a backup breaker box again in the house before it even gets to the main breaker box. So if anything goes wrong in here, it flips, it trips that breaker. If it gets past that breaker, it trips the breaker in the house, and then if it gets past that other breaker, it trips the main breaker. And everything has also got these power surge breaker things in here as well. So any power surges, anything like that, it just trips those. I don't, and I hate to say this now, but I don't have much problems, or many problems rather, with it tripping the power. The only time I have problems with it tripping the power is if I get a bit slapdash with the water when I'm watering, and I happen to throw it onto, this was the, I happened to throw some up here, and it went into that connection, shorted it out, flipped the switch. But apart from that, I don't, touch wood, have any problems. So, lighting. Now this is where it gets a little excessive. I don't know, you could say excessive. I have got two Viper Spectra P1000s. The P1000, no, P2000s. Yeah, these are P2000s. These are the big ones with the dimmable function on them. These are running at 50%, I think. Yeah, 50% those are running at. I've got 1, 2, 2, I think there's another one somewhere. Oh yeah, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 Viper Spectra P1000s, also dimmable. Those are all on 50%. And then we've got a Spider Farmer. I think that is an SF1, is an SF. What is it? SF. Bear with, I will tell you. It's an XS 1500, also dimmable. That's on just 50%. We've got a Mars Hydro. I think that's a 1000. Down there we've got Spider Farmer SF600, Spider Farmer SF600, Spider Farmer SF600, and then down here we've got Spider Farmer SF2000, Spider Farmer SF2000, Spider Farmer SF2000, that one there. Is that all of them? That's another, oh, Mars Hydro underneath there. That's a Mars Hydro 1000, I think it is. And we've got 2 Omega clones. Those are 18 watts each. Those are really good for the seedlings. And I think that's it. I think the last count was 15 lights, or thereabouts. 15 lights, yeah. So that is the lighting system in here. Everything is controlled by, I don't know if you can see them, tapo plugs. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the old tapo plugs. Decent bits of kit, to be fair. Plug them in, add them to your network on your home screen, and then basically once they're added, you just set your schedule of what time you want them to come on, what time you want them to go off, and they do the rest. And I can turn them on and turn them off from anywhere. I was on holiday down way down south, a couple 100 miles away from the house, and in the summer, and it was getting a bit warm, so a bit warm in the shed, so I just turned off 2 lights and just let the temperature drop. So that's what I do like about them. Which brings us to, how do I know what the temperature is? I use Govee. These things are pretty damn good, I must say. They tell you everything, literally everything. Temperature, humidity, VPD, dew point, you name it, they tell you it. And I can just look on my phone, tells me everything I need to know, if things are getting a bit cool, if things are getting a bit hot. So new additions. That is the basis. That is the basis of the shed, shall we say. That is what I've got in here now, is what I put in first off. And I had the shed running with all this stuff in. And then realised really quickly that 15 lights in this shed put out a fair bit of heat. Which wouldn't be a problem if I didn't have helium-4. And the helium-4 don't like to get up above 28C. The actual top of the plant itself will take 28C, no worries. However, the roots of the plant would beg to differ, and if the roots get over 28C, you can expect them to die very quickly, and they'll develop what's known as wilt. And I was the victim of wilt in summer, and this collection here used to be twice this size. I lost, and if you've watched my videos, you'll know how big the collection was. I lost over 60 plants in total, most of them adults, and a lot of them I'll never get back. It was absolutely devastating. So I realised quite quickly that the temperature in here was getting ridiculous. So I cut a big hole in the shed, in the side of the shed, and plonked in that whopping great extractor fan that you see there. That is an 8-inch extractor, and initially I'd got it so it was pulling the warm air out, but it wasn't bringing the temperature down. All it was doing was absolutely bashing the humidity, so much so that when it came on, humidity would go from like 90 down to 40 in the space of 3-4 minutes, and I couldn't have that. So I turned it round. So instead of pulling warm air out, it was pulling cold air in, and it's extremely effective at doing that. And it brought the temperature down within, so much so it only had to come on for a matter of about a minute, and it would bring the temperature straight down in here. Fantastic. Everything run by an Inkbird. So it was run by the Inkbird. Temperature set at the moment, as always, 23, and this gets 2 degrees over, so it gets to 25, and that's when the extractor would kick in. However, over summer we had that huge heat wave. Well, over here we had what we'll call it a heat wave. Anywhere else in the world, it's just normal temperatures. Over here, it got to like 80. So it's classed as a heat wave. And unfortunately, that was the death knell for half of my helium fora, because unknown to me, the fuse blew in the extractor. So the temperatures in here climbed up to 40C. And they were at 40C for a few hours because I'd gone out and I hadn't looked at my my phone, because we'd gone out on a trip or something, so I just didn't look at my phone. When I did actually finally look, and I saw, my heart sank because I knew what was going to happen. So we got back, and it took probably 3 or 4 days before the first one started to drop, and I saw them start to wilt, and that was it. It was that was all she wrote. So my next purchase, oh, tell a lie. No, the purchase before the one I'm going to tell you about. The purchase before, because the extractor fan, when it used to pull in cold air from outside, the downside of that was it used to smash the humidity. Not so bad as sucking the cold air out, sucking the warm air out, but for some reason when it's pulling the cold air in, it used to bash the humidity. The humidifier I'd got in here at the time, which was a little Ram, I think a 13-litre thing, it just couldn't keep up. So I managed to get one of these bad boys. Now, this thing is a beast. It's made by GAS, Global Air Supplies, Sonic Air Pro. I've had this now probably, it's getting on close to 2 years, and this thing is an absolute beast. It does 6.5 litres an hour, and when it comes on, it will fill this shed with mist, and a nice cool mist, because it's piped in from outside from the water butts. And I cannot say enough about this humidifier. If you've got a big greenhouse, it's the way to go. Now I've got a centrifugal one. Trying to think of the name of the. I can't think of the name of it. It's you've all seen them. It's the one like a round thing. That is a centrifugal. Now this works on disc, so it's a sonic disc which makes the mist, and the mist out of these tends to be a little drier. The mist out of the centrifugal ones, which is like a fan that spins round uber fast in a pool of water and then sucks up the water through. It's weird how it works, but when it comes out the top, it's far more dense, so things get wet a lot quicker than when this is on. And I prefer this one, to be fair, because if the round one, if the centrifugal one is on for an hour, things are absolutely sodden. The whole tent is dripping with water. If this is on for an hour, things have just got a nice even coat of mist over them. They're not like sodden with water. So that was my next purchase, and it keeps up really, it's keeping up really well. And then to keep the temperature down, I invested in a DeLonghi Pinguino. I don't know the actual model number. I'll put it in the comments, or I'll put it in the description. Not cheap, but fantastic. This thing hasn't skipped a beat in a year, and the amount of humidity in here that it sucks through and blows out is nobody's business. It works as a heater as well, but it needs cleaning actually. It's a fantastic bit of kit, and I wouldn't be without it now. I really wouldn't. And it keeps the temperature in here just where I want it. It's fantastic. So can't say enough good stuff about that. So put it all together, and with a bit of tinkering and a bit of dialing and testing and whatnot, you get it to the point where everything runs smoothly. You don't have to mess with anything, and you can almost kind of set your clock by. I know what temperature is going to be in the morning. I know what temperature is going to be in the afternoon. I know what temperature is going to be at night. Consistency, everything is consistent, which is what I like. When I look at the graph on the Govee readout, and I see consistent temperatures all the way across, consistent averages all the way across, makes me happy, makes my plants happy. So Dylan, that was just for you. There you go. You can geek out over that over breakfast. And so let's talk plants. Anyway, what's going on in seed world? Well, quite a bit actually. What we got here? What was these now? Oh, LVB cross V F2. Those are really going for it. Now I'm gonna have to start potting a few of these up because they are getting terribly overgrown with moss. But I'll leave it till the last minute really. I've just not long did these, and those have reacted pretty well, so quite happy with them. These Azumiae are going to need doing. They're getting overgrown, so those are going to have to come out pretty soon, and some of these are going to have to come out. What else we got? What are these? These are Maxima cross Boschiana cross Veitchii Barrio Candy Dreams. Those are doing well. In the back here we've got another one come up. These are Trusmariensis macrophylla. Down here, I think these are my, these are my VCI Burb cross Maxima Wavy. Anybody that bought seeds off me, off eBay, there you go. Germinating and growing really well. So if you bought seeds off eBay, off me, and these were sown, I think these were sown 1st of December, if memory serves. But as you can see there, they are growing really well. I'm dead chuffed with them. And right behind them are VCI Burb cross Maxima Dark. I didn't sow so many of those. And the VCI Burb cross Eddie. And also we have now got up here, we've got, I don't know if you can see them down there, but we have got, where is it? It's in here somewhere. There's a couple of them. VCI Burb cross Nebularum, which are German. Oh, there you go. There it is. I'm looking at the wrong pot. Just sit down there. VCI Burb Nebularum are just germinating. It's all looking pretty good. So seeds wise, happy days. Oh, these are Uleucalania. Yeah. Slimer's put a new one out. Good old Slimer, looking pretty damn good. Loving that. Starting to colour up as well. This is one of the tubbiest ones she's put out yet. So happy with this plant. It really is a top plant. Trusmadiensis, the BCP Trusmadiensis is putting out new leaf. And then we've got another Trusmadiensis. And then we've got another Trusmadiensis, albeit, they're both, those are all Trus. Check the side of the tub then. What else is new? Let's have a look. Oh, hang on. Oh, that don't look too happy. Let's dig this out. Here we go. What's going on here? That's what's happening here. Right. This plant. Where are my scissors? There they are. Let's do a bit of maintenance here for a second. Snip you off. Right. When did this plant come? Which one is it? It is Yellowphantom Trusmadiensis. This was, I got this recently, and it wouldn't surprise me if this didn't get nipped by the cold. I'm hoping not, and I'm hoping that those leaves that are dying off are purely shipping blues, as I like to call them. But we're going to keep that close and keep an eye on that, because if I need to stick that in a bag, albeit it's got nice shiny leaves, look, so it's not all is lost, but I'm just slightly worried by that slight discoloration on that leaf. Has it been nipped by the cold? Because it was pretty cold when these turned up. So we'll just keep our eye on that. What else came at the same time? Where was it? Oh, some of these down here, wasn't it? So yeah, that one didn't make it. That one, the cold got it straight away. However, this belly eye peltata does seem to be doing okay. And that was in the same bag. This one came as well, truncata peltata. Now this one's lost a couple of leaves, but it is pushing out a new leaf, so it's definitely trying. And these over the back seem not too bothered. They're getting on with stuff. So this one's put out a new picture. That is Peltata Yellow Phantom by Harriana. And so is Truncata Peltata Edwardiana. Put out a new leaf, put out a picture, so it's not all bad, not all bad. And we've also got the Nebularum here, it's taking its time. I suppose going halfway across the world has probably shook it up a little, but there you go. The old MAJB, he's working on another one. There's its last one. Big old boy. Beauty, I love this plant. It'd be a lot better if it weren't covered in sulphur, but hey ho. And there's the other one down there. Holds pictures forever. What else we got? Epiphytica. There you go. Epiphytica over the back. Courtesy of my mate Mark. Let's move on round. The Rocco Boschiana. This one with the amazing peristome is working on quite a big looking picture there. I'm pretty impressed with that. That's going to be a honker of a picture, that one. Truncata has been busy. Cracking truncata, love that. This really does hold its pictures well. Sumatrana, new picture on Sumatrana. Pretty girl. Gorgeous. Right, what have we got over the back here? Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, forgot. Ugly Duckling is just popping open 2 big fat pictures. These are going to be fantastic when they colour up. Love that plant. The Ventricosa Eddie has lost so far 1, 2, 3 leaves, 4 leaves. No sign of any movement at the moment, but there are signs of mite, and that isn't from me, because they'd got that when they came, same as the burb that came in the same shipment. Has clearly got some mite issues there, so they've all been treated. Nebularum right behind has been treated as well. Now the neb seems to be just getting on with it. I'm quite impressed with the neb. The neb, I thought the neb would have suffered a little, but it just seems to be getting on with it and not making a big issue out of it. So I mean, I'm having a bit of a crisis of confidence at the moment with the plants in general. I'll just sit down again. The mites kind of knocked me back a bit, and then I was looking at all these down here earlier, and there's a lot of them. There are a lot of these that have got Bosch in, so that's why they've got a red colour to the leaves. I do find a lot of my Bosch stuff anyway does tend to colour up quite quickly. Especially a lot of these have got Rocco Exotica and Boschiana in them, and not just once. They've got Boschiana across something, then Boschiana again. So a lot of these have coloured up literally just looking at the light from over the other side of the shed. But I was looking at them the other night, and I thought, I've burnt all these. And knowing me with my track record with the VTI that I cremated, that kind of knocked me back a bit as well. Kind of give me a kick in the guts. So I took them all out, and I went through them all, and I took out all the dead pictures, all the dead leaves. Some were repotted, and I put them all back in here, and I've put a shade cloth over the light, just to knock the light back a little bit, and we'll see how they go. If the red ones start putting out nice green leaves, and they still picture with that shade cloth on, I'll be a happy man. But then it just means that, yeah, I burnt them and I should have known better. But it doesn't help. I'm fighting space as well. I've got nowhere else to put them, and this is pretty much as low down as I can get them away from the light. I can't get the light up any higher. If I did, I'd lose a shelf. I can't afford to lose a shelf. Well, you've seen it in here. I just can't afford to lose space. So yeah, I had a bit of a crisis of confidence over that, and sat there feeling sorry for myself for a while, until the missus slapped some sense into me. So it's been a bit of an up and down week, really. But hey ho, I'll come in here next week, or I'll come in here in a couple of days' time, and I'll be thinking, oh wow, that looks ace. Oh wow, that's doing well. Wow, look at this. Oh wow, look at this. And things will just be totally different, and I'll be thinking, well, yeah, I'm growing that well, or I'm growing that well. Such are my moods. Again, pregabbling. Thank you, pregabbling. So anyway, enough waffling. I'm not trying to bring you all down. We have got down here, deep in the depths, a new Rob. Have a look at Rob. Yes. Now that is, let me zoom out. That is a beaut, if I do say so myself. I'm loving that. That plant never fails to impress, and I hope I'll get a flower out of it at some point. Now that plant, believe it or not, I don't know if you can see it amongst all this lot, that Rob was tiny a year ago, and look at it now. Thing's enormous. Okay. What's been literally a couple of seconds for you has been a day for me. This is next day. Reason being, I wanted to sort a couple of things out. First thing I want to sort out is the hot box. I don't know if you're familiar with these things. This is a sulphur hot box. It burns, well, it doesn't burn, it melts sulphur crystals, as you can see there, which in turn emits sulphur vapor, which in turn prevents any kind of fungus or bacteria growing in your grow space, and also is very unpleasant to any creepy crawlies that you might have on your plants. Now, this was recommended to me by a local nursery owner. I'm not going to say the name, it's quite a big nursery down by where I am. And he's got these things strewn throughout all his greenhouses. Swears by them. He does use some other products, like occasionally, if he's not using these, he will use other pesticides, but he doesn't like to use pesticides, so he uses the old hot boxes. And he's got nothing but good things to say about them. So, in the interests of science, and I'll take one for the team, I thought I'd give it a go, so I shelled out for one. Wasn't cheap. 90 quid for this, 90 British pounds, and it comes with I think it's 250 grams or 500 grams I think it is, of sulphur. You fill it up to that line inside, and that amount in there, if I read it right, if I read the instructions correctly, because you know me, I didn't look at the instructions. Where are they? Those aren't them. Those them. That's them. Let's have a look. It says, not that one, and I quote, it vaporizes less than 1 gram per hour. Half a cup will hold approximately 150 grams. So there's 150 grams in there. And it says, it boasts, half a cup of sulphur will last in excess of 150 hours. So potentially there's 150 hours worth in there. It's got a little element, it's got a heating element underneath. So if I just pull this out, and you'll see, little heating element there, little aluminium pot that sits down there on top of the heating element, and it gets up to 119C. That's the correct 119C. Operates between 119 and 159C, at which point it will produce maximum volumes of safe sulphur vapor. Well, to be fair, I don't have to get that hot, and I produce lots of sulphur vapor, according to my missus. It smells like bad eggs. But it depends on what I've been eating. If I've had McDonald's, it's shocking. And if I've been a biryani, it's even worse. So a bit of sulphur in here ain't gonna bother me too much. And to be honest, I'd rather have the smell of sulphur than the smell of ivermectin. That stuff is shocking. It really is. I sprayed everything in here the other day, and it's just a horrible smell. It just lingers, and you can't get rid of it. And if you get it on your clothes, it's just, I'd rather not use it, if I'm honest. So I'm going down this route, and I will report back on the next video as to my findings. But yeah, let's give it a go and let's see what happens. It is switched on, so I can feel it's already starting to put out some heat. But I've turned no fans on in here now at all. So I'll have to knock the lights off in a bit because it's going to start getting pretty warm. And I shall retire to the house, set my alarm for 3 hours, and I'll come back in and see if it smells like the depths of hell. Fire, brimstone and sulphur. And we'll see how it, let's just hang this back up here. We'll see how it smells. We'll see how it looks. Well, not expecting to see anything because apparently the vapors are, it's not going to put out masses of smoke. So we'll see what it looks like. And then we'll see where we go with it. And if it cures my mite problem, which albeit I don't think it's a massive one, it's just I don't want mites. Nobody wants mites. They are the resident stepchild of the plant world. Nobody likes them, unfortunately. But there you go. So I can already smell a faint eggy whiff. Smells like my drawers on a Saturday night. Where did we get to last night? I don't know. I lost the plot last night. I was filming, and I've got to be honest, I thought I was being a bit of a Debbie Downer, and so I just had to turn the camera off because I don't know if I was actually. I thought it was all doom and gloom because I seem to be moaning about a lot of things. But oh yeah, I was moaning about this lot, wasn't I? So yeah, I'll turn the camera off and I went in the house and I had to think about what I'd said. And I came out ready to have another go today. And I've today been taking a few cuttings. Tentaculata and a Rocco Boschiana, which I found hiding at the back, which looks like it's going to have one of them wicked sunburst peristomes, like the chummy on the top up there. So we're going to treat that one real nice, because we think that one's going to be real purdy. She's going to have a real purdy mouth. Another more tentaculata. This is a flea-bitten, mite-bitten Rob Hamata, which, yeah, you can see the mites have really had their way with that. So that is going to benefit from, well, it's already had ivermectin, and we'll see what the sulfur vapors do for it. So, because I'm leaving it right here underneath the pot. What else was this now? Oh yeah, this is Singolana Babigia Edwardiana. I do love this. This is seed grown. It's a Matt Richardson cross, and it's a fantastic plant. Really is. But it's, again, there's another victim of mite. It seems to be there was a number of plants over the back here, and it seems to be all them that have copped it. The mites had set up their little brothel up the corner here, and they were busy doing business. Oh, I've just noticed. Let me swivel around this hot box so I'm getting blended. I've just noticed a nice raff has opened. Hello there. I say, dear boy. What? This is Democracy Manifest. Look at that baby. Wow. Get my fat pork fingers out of the way. Oh yeah, we'll have a bit of that. Lovely. Nice one. Fantastic. I do like a raff. We do like a raff. Yeah, this Raja Babedi. That was another one that had a proper spanking off the mites. Let me zoom out a minute. That one had a spanking off the mites as well, by the looks of it. Yeah, there you go, look. They absolutely spanked that. Shitbags. No, I swore. I think I caught them in time, and unfortunately, Diabolica, I think I showed you this in the last video, Diabolica's as good as done, I think. Absolutely, that's a crying shame. I hope it'll come back. I'll just snap the grow tip off anyway, so hey ho. Just did that for shits and giggles. Hopefully she's going to pop a basil out from around the side. It's got a fair old root system on this. For a small plant on top, it's got an enormous root system, virtually fills this pot. And this damage here that you see on top here, that is part me. Well, I'm going to say that's kind of, oh, hang on, hello. That didn't take long to melt, did it? So that's melting nicely in there, look. No fumes. A very faint eggy odour, but nothing nothing outrageous, I've got to say. I was expecting far worse. I really was. But that is melting nicely. I don't know if it's wise me sticking my hooter over the top of it and sniffing it. Probably not to be recommended, but there you go. So she is melting really quickly. So I wonder what it does. Does it bubble when it gets to full temperature? Shall I hang about for a bit and see? And we'll see what happens. And I'll just keep waffling for another 5-10 minutes. Might as well, ain't I? Why not? Let's have a look at the seedlings while we're here. What we've got. The good parts, the bad parts. The good parts are Rocco Bosch. This is another one of the Rocco Bosch. The one over there with a really flared peristome. This, believe it or not, is from the exact same seed pod. Look at the difference. You wouldn't think these were the same plant, but it's just bizarrely thrown. And I haven't got many. I think I've got about 2 of these. They are definitely from the same pod, and it's just thrown out stripes. This the full cross is Rocco, Boschiana, Lowii, Veitchii, Boschiana, Northiana. So yeah, some Lowii, Veitchii, Northiana coming through on that one. And now you can see now why I like it. It is, and I'm hoping it is starting to form that big peristome. That we were supposed to be dripping. Where's that coming from? Who's leaking? There you go. Have an extreme close-up. Yeah, I'm liking that. That is a keeper, dear friends. One of the other ones that copped for the mites, and they really give it a spanking, is my Smilodon, which I am really, really, really peed off with what they've done to this. It's criminal. As you can see, it started putting out multiple growth points. So this has been treated to within inches of its life. Believe it or not, this was down to being 2 leaves at one point. It really got it bad. And it's been repotted twice. But it was really, really poorly. This plant was really poorly. It was down to 2 leaves, and I thought, yeah, that's gone. but it's bounced back. It bounced back, and it did 4 or 5 sets of leaves, and then they got it again. Relentless. Look at the leaf here. Absolutely relentless. They're like jackals. I don't know what's going on with that picture there. It's forming a nice picture, but for some reason it's kind of... Although no, that does look like it's going to form a picture, actually. And that one does look like it's going to form. But they are the scum of the earth, mites. Scum, scum, scum. Absolute scum of the earth. Look what they've done to my beautiful Smilodon. Don't worry, darling. You will be beautiful one again. One day, you will be beautiful. We'll sort them out, don't worry. We'll have them. Yeah, Smilodon. Who else did they accost? Who else did the mites accost? I think we got away light up here, to be fair. I think the nebs. These are BCP nebs, and they've never really took off since they arrived. I've got to be honest. That's the best leaf that I've had off these things since I've had them. And I've just snapped the picture off that. Wow, fantastic. Yeah. We ain't too worried about that, to be fair. I don't think it's going to be in a rush to picture anytime soon, so... Lowii muluensis. Bring out a new picture as well. Nice. That time. Waited long enough. Flava Eddie has me concerned. Now this was growing like a beaut, really going for it. It was quite poorly when I had it. Hadn't been treated what I'd call well. It was growing, but in a fashion. And it put a picture out. It pictured. That picture's since died and gone. It put that one out and it stopped growing completely. It's gone on hiatus and said, F you world, I ain't doing nothing. So I'm a little concerned as to what's going on with that. Sorry, you're looking at a blurred picture down here. Yeah, I'm a little concerned as to what's going on with that. So remains to be seen. Right, oh, hang on, let's have a look. Okay, we are fully melted. Looks a bit like one of my urine samples. Yeah, it's roughly about the same colour and consistency. A little bit like engine oil. Can't really smell anything coming off it, if I'm honest. But as you can see, the wavy things, it is definitely warm. So, at which point, I am going to call this video. I'm going to go on in the house and sit in there for a while that thing heats up, and I'm going to give it a couple of hours, upload this video for your viewing. Ah, yes, that's what I need expert advice from you high-tech savvy geniuses out there. I use Tapo plugs. Where are they? Look at this lot down here. Tapo plugs. I have got Tapo plugs coming out of my ass. I use these. I've used these for quite a while. To be fair, with reasonable success. They've not been bad, really. But there are occasions when the Wi-Fi signal is bad from the house. There are occasions when they just drop out and I can't get any signal. And I can't get Wi-Fi in here for the love of me. If somebody tries to call me on a Wi-Fi call in here, forget it. It's just blurred. It's shocking. So I thought, how am I going to get Wi-Fi out to the shed without having to run wires and everything else? So I went to Curry's. Curry's advised I got one of these jobbies, TP-Link AV600, which I got. So I bought the AV600. He explained that there's no need for wires. The Wi-Fi signal runs through the wires of the electricity system, and as long as you're on the same loop, which I am in here, I'm on the same loop as to what the hub is plugged into, it will carry the Wi-Fi signals down the wires to that, hence turning that into a router, tomatoes. Great, I thought, fantastic. I'll have a Wi-Fi signal in the shed. Awesome. So I've plugged that in, and I have indeed got Wi-Fi in the shed. Unfortunately, all the tapo plugs have stopped working. So everything is now offline. Incidentally, the fallout of that is nothing turns off when it should, nothing turns on when it should. So I'm having to come out here in the morning. Some lights are on, some lights are off. So I'm having to turn them on manually, turn them off manually. Humidifier, that's not working. Why? Somebody tell me why. Amori has touched on, because we've been speaking about it, it could be the 5G and the 2.4 gig are having a bit of a, yeah, we don't want to play together type scenario. And that's what's causing it. Now, just to make sure that it's not the plugs and to rule out the plugs, I have been and bought a whole crap load of brand new tapo plugs today. That wasn't cheap, but I've put all new tapo plugs in here, and I have whatever the word is, you know, when you put them on your device, on your phone, blah blah blah. I've done all that, and it's doing the same thing. So I've tried unplugging that, and then I've got no Wi-Fi. And I've also bought in that TP-Link thing, which was the first thing I bought. And this was in the house, and this was absolute dog crap. Did nothing. But I think that was because it was too far away from the router. So I bought it in here in the hope, because that other thing's in here as well, that it would pick up on that, and everybody would get naked and play together. That ain't happening. So I don't know what to do. I don't mind coming in here and turning lights off at night, but it is a ball ache when I'm sitting on the settee, I'm lying on the settee, and I don't want to shift, or when I just want to go to bed and it's cold outside, and then I've got to come out here and start turning lights off. And what always happens when I come out here to turn lights off, I end up out here for an hour, I end up out here for 2 hours, which isn't a bad thing, but I bought the plugs to work. I didn't buy the plugs for me to come out and turn them on and off, if you get my drift. So, having said that, hopefully there's somebody out there who can put me out of my misery and tell me what the hell's going on. So they are Tapo 110, P110. Tapo P110 plugs is the name of the device. Tapo, they're all the same, P110 jobbies. Now, I'm convinced now that these do all work and there's nothing wrong with them. And I've just spent a load of money for nothing, which ain't a problem because I've got spares now, but it's something I wouldn't do. I'd have much rather not done. But there you go. Somebody can help me, please. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm getting old. Yeah, somebody can help me. But Christ, that smells worse than the sulphur. God, love. Whoa. Anyway, I better go. I think I need to go to the toilet. Yeah, too late. Anyway, boys and girls, I will catch you on the next one. So hang tight. Answers in the comments if you got anything about the plugs. I do apologise about my flatulence, but we are among friends, aren't we? We do know each other. Yeah, so I will talk to you all soon. Take care.